Today I'm going to start off with a story. Last year in the track season of 2018 to 2019, I made it to the state finals at Cheney at their stadium. To give you like a preview of this season, I decided not to play basketball, which is a sport that usually like helped me kind of get conditioned for the sport because of like a lot of running and stuff, so it helped me get ready for the type of running that I'm going to do in track, or at least somewhat. But I decided not to, and but I still did exercise. Like I did weight training and some cardio, but not as much as I should have. And then coming into track season, the weather wasn't in our favor, and we had to do a lot of inside practices in the beginning, and so we didn't get the real experience of like running on the track and the more like hard workouts that we usually do. And then so I just stuck with what we were doing, and my times weren't coming out as I wanted them to, and they were lower than last year or the same, but I was hoping for improvement because in my earlier years I made it to state, but I didn't ever get into the finals yet, so that was a big goal of mine. And then I made it to state, and then I was waiting for like to hear the times and what they said, and they were calling and they're getting up to like the last. They only take 8 people in the finals, and they said my name at the 8th spot, so I was super excited. But going into finals, I knew I was seated in the last place, so I thought, okay, the highest that I probably will get is 8th. But I just stayed positive, and I ended up placing 5th at state, and breaking our school records because we're a combined school. And so that's my story. Okay, so now for the important part. After listening to my speech, I hope you will be able to describe the importance of training for a sport. My main points will be, number 1, outside of practice training and self-care, number 2, nutrition, and number 3, mental mindset. So to begin, the first big factor in training for a sport is the time you put in outside of practice. The first thing that is an important thing to do is stretching. It's important because the more agility you have, the less apt you are to getting injuries, and it helps you maintain mobility in your joints so you don't get hurt. Also, it helps improve balance, which is an important factor to most sports. Number 2 is weight training. That helps a lot with most sports. It's good to just be strong and fast and explosive. Like, this maybe sound that one, but most of them, it's good for all that. Number 3 is more into self-care and like things such as rolling, like massaging devices. You can even use a ball like to rub out your muscles and stuff. It's important to keep them like recovered and healthy so that you also don't get injuries. Number 4 is sleeping. Sleeping is super healthy because it helps you recover from all the work you put out, and it helps you stay more alert so that when you're performing, you can perform at your best. Along with taking care of yourself, the next key factor is having good nutrition. The number 1 thing that your body needs to do an activity is food. So a good nutrition to have is carbohydrates because it provides you with a lot of the energy you need to exert when you're doing a high intensity sport. Protein is another nutrition that's important because it gives you the nutrition to help your muscle grow and repair itself. And then another thing that is important for nutrition is a lot of water. It's super important to stay hydrated, and it helps keep your muscles working and promotes cardiovascular health, which is good for most sports because you need to be able to recover from running or exerting energy. Now, the third key factor is your mental mindset. Mental toughness is a super important thing because you need to be able to bounce back after a mistake and not get down on yourself, even after you're really bad, so that you can stay focused and keep doing better than you were. Number 2 is it's really good to set goals for yourself, because if you, long-term and short-term, because if you set little ones that you can achieve in practice, it helps set up your confidence for when you perform it at like a game or something. Number 3 is a good positive and confident attitude, or visualizing yourself doing well, so that when you're going out to perform what you're doing, you see yourself doing good and you don't go out and having a negative attitude or thinking you're doing bad, because then if you do have a mistake, you might get down on yourself more. And to conclude, to revise my 3 main points, number 1 is training outside of practice and taking care of yourself. So soaking your muscles in like warm water or in rolling them out, and then weight training and stuff like that. Number 2 is nutrition, so putting good foods in your body to give you the energy you need to exert it. And then number 3 is mental mindset, so going in positives and visualizing you doing well so that you will do well. I hope from this speech you can now describe the importance of training for a sport. Thank you.